Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Confidence Mindset with Amanda. So in this video, I'm just going to acknowledge the topic of addressing your inner thoughts when they are not in alignment with your desired state. So first of all, when we are manifesting and consciously creating, it does not mean that we are never going to have a negative thought or an intrusive thought. And really accepting this is part of the process as well too. So negative thoughts and intrusive thoughts are actually a little kind of a gift in a sense, because they tell you and show you, they're like a little whisper from God, you could say, telling you and showing you what you do not want to experience. Now, I do want to say that it is your dominant thoughts that create, and so you don't have to really be micromanaging every single thought that is not in alignment with your desired state, because your subconscious mind knows exactly what it is that you want to experience. So the moment you activate that desire, it goes into your subconscious or your reticular activating system. It's in there, and when we are nurturing that desire through our affirmations and through continuously dominantly thinking and feeling and acting like we have what it is that we want, in a way that we are waking up every day and dominantly choosing to think about what it is that we want to create. This is actually what is deliberate creation. This is what we're creating when we are manifesting. So when we have negative thoughts, they don't really matter, because they're just little passing thoughts that come along that either are guiding us into what it is that we do want. So in the moment when we have the negative thought or intrusive thoughts, we can stop and say, okay, well, why am I thinking this in the moment? And then we can find the actual goodness from this. So for example, let's say then we are in the moment, we are focusing on something in our 3D that we don't like. So acknowledging it is the best way. I would never suggest actually suppressing it down, because you will find that the more you suppress something down, it does tend to come back up. Now, I know you can continue to flip your thoughts with a mental diet. However, from my own perspective, I do feel that it is better to acknowledge it in the moment, because for me, that kind of lets it go a lot more. So in the moment, then you can say to yourself, okay, well, I'm having this negative thought in the moment. Either it's telling me something, or it's just something that is coming up that is because my body is maybe feeling a little bit under threat in the moment, or not believing in myself, or I'm not being confident in myself. So I'm going to acknowledge it right now. I'm going to say to myself, okay, I don't really like how this feels. And it's okay to say this, I don't really like how this feels in the moment. Nothing messes up your manifestation. And really, when we are manifesting, we want to be coming onto this journey where we accept all of these things, like negative emotions and intrusive thoughts, along the way as a part of how we are living. Because, well, from my own experience and my own perspective, I don't really know if it's possible to be 100% positive thoughts all of the time. Now, I know that we can catch our thoughts and we can watch them in the moment by continuing to go on our mental diet and things like that. However, there are some times when we may not catch them, and that's okay. And maybe we won't be on our mental diet, and that's okay. But nothing actually messes up your desire or manifestation from happening, because your subconscious mind knows exactly what it is that you want. You don't even have to be so specific on what it is that you want, because your subconscious mind actually knows the specific of what it is that you want. So with that being said, in the moment, acknowledge the negative thoughts. So let's say you're having a little bit of a spiral in your mind, you're having a little conversation that is totally against what it is that you want to experience, or it's totally the opposite of your desired state. So acknowledge it in the moment and say, okay, I don't really like this negative thought right now, so I'm going to go on things that I do like. So this is what I do like. So okay, let's come back into the present moment. Talk to yourself like you're separate in that moment, because I do that for myself as well too, especially when I want to bring myself back into the present moment. I would say to myself, okay, what are we doing here? We're coming back in, come back into the present moment, come back into the present moment. In the present moment, I want to feel love, I want to feel cared for, I want to feel provided for, I want to feel like everything is always working out for me. And so if that's the way I want to feel in the moment, then I'm going to address this negative thought and I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm not going to actually continue to think that. I'm going to say, I don't really like how this feels, but I tell you what I do like. I love thinking about everything working out in my favor. I love thinking that negative thoughts just come up just to redirect how I am feeling. I love thinking that negative thoughts are actually working in my favor, because the more they came up, the more I address them, the more I can let them go, and they are not going to continue to come up. And then I like thinking about how my life is unfolding in the best way for me. I love thinking about all my affirmations working for me. I love knowing that everything that I think in my mind is working for me. I love knowing that all of these desires that I am manifesting into my life are about to unfold in front of me. I love the excitement that I get from thinking about them. I love the excitement of the unknown. I love feeling really good in the moment. I love knowing that I am loved in the moment. I love knowing that I am the one that can create anything that I want in this moment. I feel so powerful when I think of myself that way. I feel so powerful when I know that it all comes from within me. It's so exhilarating and it's so exciting and thrilling to know that I am the deliberate creator of my life. And it's this kind of rampage that you kind of go on. And then in that moment, then after that, you may say to you didn't even remember what it is that you thought about in that moment. So this is kind of how you redirect your inner speech into all of the possibilities. As I say, you dwell on your possibilities, you dwell on your affirmations, and your mental diet as well too. But it's to accept, like, mindfulness is actually to accept the present moment with no judgment. So that means that if you are having negative thoughts or intrusive thoughts against what it is that you want, you accept them and you let them go for what they are. You say, you know what, that's I let go of my past with love. I come back into the present moment, because all we have is the present moment. There is nothing that exists outside of the present moment. So you want to be coming back into the present moment. And another thing that I delight to do as well too is to remind myself that nothing exists outside of my mind. So if nothing exists outside of my mind, well, then that means it's only up to me to think about what it is that I want to see, what it is that I want to hear, what it is that I want to experience in my life, because we do all operate from the one consciousness, because everything is energy coming from the one consciousness. It's coming from what we are perceiving on a daily basis. And so when we come back into the present moment, this is where we find our path again. And from my own perspective, I do believe that all of the manifestations and everything is all about coming back into the present moment, coming back into you, knowing that it is you are the answer, you are the solution to everything. It's you that creates everything. So if it is you that creates everything, well, then you can stop yourself in the moment and say, well, I'm not going to think that anymore. And even if that thought comes up again, I know that it's only just redirected me into thinking about what it is that I do want. So I hope this helps, for particularly for the person who suggested this topic, which is a very, very good topic to be suggesting, because this is what we want to be doing. We want to be understanding that correcting our inner speech in the moment is simply just bringing us back into thinking about positive things, yes, but also as well too bringing us back into ourselves. So it means that if there is something going on in the moment that we feel like it's separating ourselves, let's say for example you're looking outside and you're seeing, maybe you're comparing yourself to someone, but in that moment you can say, no, hang on a sec, I'll come back into the present moment. Why am I comparing myself? So you ask the questions, and then you say to yourself, well, maybe it's because I know that I'm just as good as that other person, or I'm just as good as doing the same things as that other person, and that's why I'm comparing myself. And so really then, if I'm comparing myself, it's only because I am not believing in myself in the moment, and because everything all comes back to yourself. It's like a reflection. And when we get triggers and negative emotions and things like that, we are really, it's just because we're separating ourselves from ourselves, I suppose you could say as well too, because everything is just a kind of a reflection of what it is that we are thinking and what it is that we are believing about ourselves. And it's really up to us how we respond. And so negative thoughts are okay, intrusive thoughts are okay, as long as we are not continuing to dwell on them and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. It's like, it's okay to even have a whole day of spiraling. That's okay. Like, give yourself the permission to soothe yourself out of all of these feelings of negativity and feelings of intrusive thoughts and things like that, because it doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's like circumstances don't matter. I don't know if anyone saw my post the other day, but I did a post on why circumstances don't matter, and it's because when we are focusing on something, it's us that's creating the matter of it. And in Newtonian physics, we focus on something which creates the physicality of it. So that's the matter. So when we are focusing on circumstances, or we find ourselves going back onto circumstances, we're indirectly kind of creating it again, because it's our emotions and all that comes up because we keep dwelling on it. So that's when we stop ourselves and we redirect the whole situation and say, okay, well, whatever, that happened, but I let go of my past with love, and now I'm going to create this, and I'm going to continue to think about all of the things that I do like to feel. I like to feel abundant. I like to feel loved. I like to feel that everybody is working to bring me what I want, that everyone is supporting me on my journey. I like that feeling. I love that feeling of connection. I love that feeling of communication. I love that feeling of everything just being, easy and effortless. And this is what then the way that you bring yourself back into your kind of alignment. Now remember, the words don't matter. It doesn't matter how you are saying things. All it matters is that you are saying things that are working in your favor, because that really is all what manifestation is. It's just about redirecting your thoughts and everything to work in your favor. And your emotions and triggers are just you could call them your spiritual guides that are redirecting you back into who you are, because who you are is all love, all bliss, all abundance, all peace, all happiness, all the beauty and all that's good feelings and all of those things. It's your God self, it's your true self, and that is what you are bringing yourself back into when you come back into the present moment. So I hope this video helps, and I hope that it may find some clarity for you in what it means to correct your inner speech. It doesn't matter what way you are correcting it, as long as you are kind of allowing yourself to accept in the moment what it is, and then allowing it to let it go by changing it then to work in your favor. You can even use whatever it is that you are thinking to turn around in your favor. So let's say, for example, maybe you say something like, oh, why did this happen, but you're saying it in a negative way, and you know that your thoughts are going in that way. Well, then you say, just continue on with, well, it happened because this is working in my favor, because this happening is actually bringing me to what it is that I want. Circumstances all falling down all over me here, and why am I in such a feeling of despair? Well, that just means that I must be getting closer to what it is that I want. Just make everything mean that it's working in your favor, but never suppress thoughts that are really negative and intrusive, because they do have a tendency to come back up again. It's about not being forceful with yourself. It's about being gentle with yourself. That's the main way that we kind of overcome our negative and intrusive thoughts. So I'll leave that there. So thank you so much for watching.